Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is JupiterJames, where I awaken the astrologer within you. You know, I really do feel that before a time of iPhones and iPads and I this and I that, we were a culture and a society that were better able to look up at the stars and understand exactly what the universe wanted from us. And so I'm just here on this channel to remind you of the innate knowledge that you already know and that you already have. That way you are better able to interpret your chart, your friends, your family's charts. That way we all get to our dreams further and faster. All right, so today we're going to get into Pluto in the first house. Pluto in the first house is going to give me very much the energy of someone who is very powerful in their own right, but it is with that exact power that attracts a lot of magnetism to them and a lot of trauma. But before we unpack that very deep aspect, let's go ahead and separate the aspects into their own individual concepts. That way we are better able to understand what each concept does, what each aspect does on their own versus when they come together. That way we can do more with the knowledge that we've been given. You know, we're not just confined to Pluto in the first house and what that does. We understand what Pluto does, and then we understand what the first house is, you know? So, Pluto in the birth chart, whenever I see Pluto in the birth chart, I see that this planet indicates the power of the person, where this person will experience a lot of magnetism, where this person will also be obsessed over, and what this person could also experience a lot of rebirth and change and death and transformation. You know, they can sense a lot of transformation. Now, depending on the house that this is in, will zone in and key into what exact territory Pluto will be doing. But for the general interpretation of the planet Pluto, this indicates obsession, magnetism, the power of the person, what this person is obsessed with and can be obsessed in. And it also shows me the rebirth of the person, where this person will transform the most. And yeah, now, the first house is going to indicate the appearance of the person. This is going to indicate the actual person's body and what this person's form will go through, right, in this life, or how people see them or how people influence the person, right? They also say that this is the ascendant. So Pluto in the first house is kind of like Pluto being on the ascendant, depending on how many degrees away. But in my mind, I just say if it's in the first house, it's Pluto on the ascendant, you know, or Pluto just in the first house, however your mind likes to interpret that, but it's going to give the same qualities. Now, when we have Pluto, the planet of transformation, of rebirth, the planet of power and obsession, the planet of control, the planet of magnetism and rebirth and death and transformation, and we throw it into the first house, what do we get? We get someone that is very, very powerful, and if they are not powerful, they have a very strong presence about them. Could be slightly mysterious, and people see them as this person. They see this person and as someone who has a very intense personality for one way or another, for one reason or another. And if it's not that, this person will experience a lot of trauma in their lives, and it will be from that trauma that they are able to transform and learn and grow and get stronger, and through that creates power, right? So that is what this concept will be. This person probably also, like, no matter what they do, no matter how they come into a situation, they get people who have a very strong reaction to them. This could be for good or for bad. It could be people that you get that are super obsessed with you, and then all of a sudden they want to harm you, or all of a sudden they turn on you or betray you, or it's just this person attracts a lot of that type of plutonic energy. Pluto is the planet that's really far out and mysterious, right? It's almost like a dark planet. Pluto also rules Scorpio, so this would give me the energy of that. This person will have a very scorpionic flavor to them, no matter what their sign on the first house is. They're gonna have a very scorpionic flavor. It's gonna put a shroud of mystery and darkness around the person and control around this person. And this person can use this to transform others. This person, through all the traumas that they induce and from all of the things that they go through and coming out stronger in the end, they can then use those lessons and that wisdom to help transform others. And if they know how to alchemize that energy and are able to say, okay, this is happening to me. Maybe I can use this force for good and use what I know to help my family, to help my friends, to help transform my workplace because I've been through a lot, and to maybe teach others how to get through things or the lessons and wisdoms behind things. I can then transform other people's situation. This person can also suffer from being obsessive over others, or being obsessed with control, just controlling a situation, or having an outcome be what you want it to be can be something that you struggle with. You know, when things don't turn out the way you want them, you feel that unless you force it that way, unless you force it to be in that mode or in that way, then you're not satisfied. And so you could really learn not to do that, you know? Like, I know that's probably hard for you to not obsess over things or to not want to control things, but you can have that way about you where you just really want to control other people and situations and have things the way you see it in your mind. And if it's not that way, then maybe you get angry or you recluse or you go inward. I have a friend that has Pluto in the first house, and this person is very much like that, like where they really want control over the situation. If it's not to the exact detail in their mind of how they want it, they either, it's time for them to go home, or they're not having a good time, or it's just something in their energy turns inward and they are no longer having fun. They just don't want to be a part of it. And that is a very Plutonic trait, you know? So with this, just know that you will experience a lot of transformation in your life. Transformation is a part of your life, and you are going through these things so that you are able to help others with their transformations. You could also be someone that could be very good at shadow work, you know, really going in your mind or having a diary and you writing down things about your life and the things you've experienced and trying to calculate what these things mean for you in your life. What is the bigger purpose of your trauma? What is the higher meaning or the higher wisdoms behind the things that you are going through can really, really help you in this life. So yeah, this could be somebody that can be a great leader in this life because you have such a presence and a gift about you. And this doesn't always mean that you come in with a mean, aggressive energy. You could be the nicest, sweetest person on the planet, and from you being the most enlightened, sweetest person on the planet, there's a power behind that. There's a presence behind that. So I don't want you to get from my tone or the way I'm speaking about Pluto that it has to be dark or that you're dark. It's just that, like, you are going to be received in a very powerful way. You are a powerful figure because you have a powerful presence about you, and that's because you've gone through a lot of death and rebirth in your life. You've gone through a lot of people and a lot of situations maybe beating you down and knocking you down a bit, but that's just to fortify your strength and to fortify your wisdom. And so really take that as a gift, okay? If you have Pluto in the first house, can you write down below what your Pluto in the first house is? Like, what sign is it under? And I'll write back in the comments what that could mean for you, okay? Also, is this ringing true for you? Are you someone that has experienced a lot of trauma in your life, or at least a lot of transformations? You may go through a very big transformation at least once in your life, a very big transformation, if not all the time. I want you to get comfortable with transforming. I want you to get comfortable with not sticking roots in something or not getting used to something, because it is the moment that you get used to something that the universe and that Pluto in your first house is going to uproot the energy and says, all right, we gotta get you uncomfortable again. And you will become such a master at transformation and the energy of the unknown that you will know when the transformation is coming. You will know who the people are that don't necessarily like you or don't necessarily or who feel a certain way about you. You'll get very adept with that. So yeah, that was my Pluto in the first house video. I really hope this helped you, and I will see y'all in the next video, okay? Y'all have a good one. Bye.